Greetings, intellectuals! Today I want to invite you down the strangest of LEGO rabbit holes as we discuss the history of LEGO brains. I swear I'm not running out of video ideas. LEGO was pretty hesitant to embrace humanity's greatest asset in the early days, and it wasn't actually until 2001 that the company decided to start including them in sets. Brains made a pretty dramatic entrance with their introduction in Bionicle, included in 6 different transparent colors across 25 sets in 2001 alone. The element here is pretty iconic, and it's referred to as the brain stock within the Bionicle community. Once the brain was connected to the Bionicle head element, it would also provide your favorite characters with unique eye colors. Apparently, it's quite difficult to remove once you've connected these two parts though. To this day, various Bionicle brain stocks count for a large percentage of the brainy elements LEGO has made, and they come in all manner of shapes and sizes. But System wasn't about to miss out on the fun. Minifigures had their exciting brain debut in 2002's Studio line. The Scary Laboratory is a truly bizarre entry into LEGO's portfolio, but there's no denying that a random brain feels right at home here. The same brain was later sold amongst the other haunting wares of 2003's Nocturne Alley. The realism of this particular specimen makes it rather spooky. Whether you view this as a brain in a jar or just a loose one to be handled by a mad scientist, the uniqueness of this piece will ensure it's remembered for a long time. 2006 brought us one of our first brick-built brains in the SpongeBob SquarePants theme's Build-A-Bob. Taking a peek into SpongeBob's head reveals the inner workings of his elaborate mind and Plankton's attempts to control it. Honestly though, is this set just not hilarious? LEGO now had the rights to sell SpongeBob's brain, but the greedy old company wanted more. They turned their sights to another classic IP, Indiana Jones. And thankfully, 2008 gave us an Indiana Jones movie all about brains. Or well, at least Kingdom of the Crystal Skull hurt my brain. Regardless of the movie's quality, I think we can all agree LEGO's take on the titular Crystal Skull was pretty cool. The skulls would be featured in 3 sets altogether, with their most notable appearance being in Temple of the Crystal Skull. Each skull houses a strange dark blue floating brain. LEGO eventually figured out that they could make their own brains again too. Alien Conquest put a lot of emphasis on brains, with aliens coming to Earth to suck the brain power straight out of humanity. In fact, the aliens' brains were so massive that they seldom could be contained to their craniums. Check out this crazy brain piece the theme introduced. This element serves as a minifigure hat, marking a significant departure from the previous minifigure compatible brains. It was only ever produced in 2 colors, transparent bright green in 2011, and then in transparent dark pink the following year for Collectible Minifigures Series 8. Carrying on the traditions of Bionicle, Hero Factory reintroduced brains into their Construction figures, and boy did they go all in. Much like in Alien Conquest, the brains were the bad guys this time around, with parasite brains from an alien world. The design of these is proper creepy. Apparently these guys had the power to attach themselves to other living beings and control their minds. Hero Factory's villainous brains come in all manners of colors as well, with each one pretty much being exclusive to a single set. Bricklink lists black, transparent orange, transparent yellow, transparent bright green, transparent dark blue, transparent light blue, and even this absolutely wild glow-in-the-dark version. What is it with brains wanting to take over the world? Because 2013 still had one last evil brain up its sleeve, the Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There were around 20 TMNT sets released in the mid-2010s based off both the TV series and the 2014 movie. The Krang actually came in one of the smallest sets, Krang Lab Escape. This alien brain is once again terrifying, and the mold is really unique. There's nothing about this piece that makes you even think that it's LEGO. This guy does have a fun hidden surprise though. He can also serve as a bizarre looking minifigure hat. How cool is that? But the most expensive brain would come a couple of years later in 2015, and trust me, it's not what you'd expect. This tiny little element is the brain of Ultra Agents Professor Brainstein. He's a $100 figure, and even this simple little brain piece goes for $40 all by itself. This is all rather fascinating considering when I did a video on sharks, one of the most expensive sharks was also from Ultra Agents. These sets just really seem to be quite uncommon. LEGO's brains aren't always specialized parts though. Designers enjoy adding brick-built brains to characters pretty much whenever they can, and they're easiest to find in the Brickheads line. LEGO has had a morbid fascination with making sure most all of their collectible characters force you to handle their gray matter before putting their skulls around it. Surely I must not be the only one who finds this whole process slightly disturbing. And who could forget last year's Intellect Devourer from the Dungeons & Dragons CMF? This little sidekick was the companion of the Mind Flayer, and much like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles' Krang, he can also be placed atop the head of a minifigure. The theme that's really brought Brains back into the spotlight and inspired me to do this video though, is dreams. It began with Mr. Oz's space car in 2024, which included a flying brain of sorts. The stuff of nightmares, I suppose. If you take the model apart, you'll find that this is another printed minifigure head, nicely decorated around both sides on pink. But the 2025 lineup of sets is really going all out on Brains with the most elaborate brain piece to date. Meet the Cyber Brain Spiders, a truly wacky yet terrifying take on the subject matter. The creatures center on a singular element, dual molded and exquisitely detailed. It's got plenty of connection points which are great for building tendrils and legs to make these creepy monsters. No matter what you think of the Dreams theme, you've got to admit that its unhindered creativity is pretty refreshing in a LEGO world saturated with a lot of licensed properties. So what's your favorite LEGO brain? I bet you've never been asked that question before. Let me know what you think though in the comments. I hope you enjoyed our little journey today. I've got plenty more weird LEGO content, so be sure to stick around. Thanks for tuning in and have yourself a great life.